Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here this morning. So, today we are going to talk about my 15 reasons why I chose Panama as my retirement destination. We're going to look at these factors that were important to me when making my decision to move abroad and to live in Panama. So, for those that are new to this channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Uh, Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Mary Goff, and I am a retired corporate expat living here in Panama. And my channel is all about empowering, supporting, and encouraging Black women over 50 to live their best lives. So we do that by talking about traveling, getting out and seeing the world. We talk about health and wellness. We got to stay healthy at this particular stage in our lives. And we also talk about my particular life here in Panama. I share my experiences here for people that are interested in moving abroad or just visiting another country. So if this is something that you're interested in, please hit the like and subscribe, and make sure you turn on notifications so that you don't miss any videos. And for those that are tuning in, if you are live, let me know where you're tuning in from. And if this is a replay, let me know that as well. Good morning, Aline. Good morning, Aline. Good morning, Suzette. Where are you ladies checking in from? Good morning. There's a Facebook user to put replay, but maybe you're going to tune in later. Hi, Todd from Mexico. Hey, Suzette from Jamaica. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning from Philadelphia. Good morning from Atlanta. Atlanta's in the house. Oh, we have a someone here in Panama on a scouting trip. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to get started. Hi, Valerie from St. Petersburg, Florida. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you ladies tuning in. This is my first live of 2024. We're going to have a whole series about my retirement journey, so you're in for a treat. Good morning, Kat. Thank you so much for joining in. Hi, Delphine from Michigan. Chocolate Stew, Life of a Flight Attendant. Hey, girl from Orlando. Nice to have you here. Concord, North Carolina. Hi, Debbie from Connors. Good morning, good morning. Okay, so we're going to get started. Now, these particular reasons are not in any particular order. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know as we go along. Okay, the first reason that we're going to talk about today is Panama's retirement program. Now, Panama came on my radar. I started looking at retirement areas like many years before I retired. I am an Air Force veteran and a prior government worker. So I have lived and traveled all over the world. So I was used to being abroad. And my dream was, after I retired, to also move abroad. So I started doing a whole lot of research online, and I was using as a main resource was international living. And international living was a good resource for me because it gave me lots of information about Panama. And Panama was always like in the top 3, top 5 countries for retirees. So I kind of like tuned in on Panama. So one of the main things that was really appealing to me was the pensionado visa, which is what I have. I'm a permanent resident of Panama, and I have the retirement visa, which is the pensionado visa. So it comes with a whole host of benefits, and we're going to have another video which I'll go over all the details about the visa. But there's just a ton of benefits. For instance, like 25% off airfare, 25 to 50% off hotels, 25% off all of your meals, discounts on retail shopping. There's just a whole host of benefits that come with the Pensionata Visa. And it's also pretty easy and straightforward to obtain. So that was a big draw for me when I decided to use Panama as a retirement destination. Is international living a website, magazine, etc.? Actually, years ago when I was looking at it, international living, it was a website, but I believe they also have a newsletter that you can subscribe to. And back then they were also doing tours. I never took the tour, but I definitely used their resources on the website. So internationalliving.com, you can go look at that. All right, so let's get to reason number 2. Okay, so because I love to travel, absolutely love to travel, having access to an international airport was also very important to me. So I like the fact that you can go pretty much anywhere here in Panama. They have direct flights to a lot of the major cities. It's very easy to get back to the US. They also have direct flights to international locations, for instance, Paris, Madrid. This photo here is a picture of me in Istanbul. I was on my way to Bali, and I had a layover in Istanbul, so I decided to spend a couple of days there. And so I was able to use my Pensionata visa on a Turkish airline flight and get 25% off business class. So it was a really good deal. So having access to be able to use Panama as a home base and still travel around the world was very important to me. Okay, so let's go to our next reason. Okay, so number 3 for me is cost of living. Okay, so Panama has a wide variety of accommodations to fit any budget. Okay, so you can live here economically, or you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars and live here in luxury. Most of everyone that I know, it's very easy to have a water view. Okay, so you're going to pay a lot more for a water view in the States than what you're going to pay for here. But I know people that, their apartment, I have friends that are paying $900 for a water view and people that are paying in the thousands for a water view. So it depends on your particular budget, but there's accommodations to fit any particular lifestyle. You're going to have to decide, as far as how much you can afford, what your monthly budget here is. But everyday expenses like Uber is like $2 or $3. Transportation is pretty cheap. You can get your groceries or fruit and veggies from a local market. So all of these things contribute to your overall cost of living. You can shop at the local stores and you're going to pay a lot less than shopping at the most expensive stores. So you can have a higher standard of living, okay, on a more, I'm not going to say cheap, okay, I'm going to use the word economical, because cheap is relative. What might be cheap to me might be expensive to somebody else. So I'm going to say that it depends on your particular budget. But I think anyone, if you're good at managing your money, can find a place here in Panama or wherever you decide to go. Make sure you're looking at all of the monthly expenses when you're looking at the total cost of living. Okay. All right. So let's go to number five. Excuse me, number four. Okay. The fourth reason why I chose Panama as my retirement destination is having access to good health care. You know, you don't want to make a decision to move to a country, and if you get sick or something happens, you don't have a decent hospital to go to get some health care. Panama has several hospitals that are affiliated with John Hopkins. Um, they're world-class facilities, very modern, high-tech. I went for a physical, and one of the things that was really impressive to me was that, well, not only the physical was just $60. I got a discount with my Pensionata visa, the retirement visa, but not only that, but the doctor spent like over an hour talking to me, not only about my physical health, but also my mental health. So, you know, like you're in the US when you have a doctor's appointment, how they run in and spend maybe 5 minutes, you know, to talk to you so they can charge you for that doctor's visit. I mean, she spoke to me for over an hour. So another thing that I enjoy about being here in Panama is that you have direct access to your doctors. You're communicating directly with them on WhatsApp. And that's pretty unheard of in the States. You're not talking to any of your doctors directly unless you're in the hospital or something. Another thing, another example that I wanted to use, when I was in the States, I had a mammogram done. And because I have dense breast tissue, they suggested that I get an ultrasound as well. Uh, and then I decided, tried to make an appointment for an ultrasound. And they said, oh no, we don't have anything available for 4 months. So I was like, okay, so I'll wait till I get back to Panama. Now in Panama, for the month of October, where they extended to the end of the year, but they started in October for the breast awareness campaign, and they really, you know, campaign about getting your mammograms done. So I had a mammogram and an ultrasound in Panama. Made an appointment 2 days later. I had an appointment, and it was $120 for both of them. Okay, for both of them. And not only that, 2 days later, I was able to click on the link and not only see the medical write-up from the, you know, the doctors and stuff, but also to see my images from my ultrasound electronically, all on the computer. I was able to do that within 2 days of my appointment. And that was for $120. So that is amazing. Okay, what about medical facilities? That's what we're talking about. I'm not sure about your question. Do you have any particular question about the medical facilities? There's several medical facilities here. I've been to several, all state of the art, squeaky clean, very professional. Is there a particular question that you have? Yes, the doctors do talk to you about 5 minutes and then give you medication. Yes, I can totally understand that. Okay. All right. So let's go to number five. Now, you know, number five, the weather. Okay. So I grew up in a cold climate in Northeast. So if I don't see snow or slush another day of my life, I am fine. Okay, so Panama here, the weather. Okay, I have lived in warm weather for a very long time. My last assignment when I was working, I was in Saipan, so it was like on an island, very like a tropical climate. Beautiful weather, stayed in the 80s most of the time. Here in Panama, has very high humidity. Okay, so it's warm, very warm. We have sort of like rainy and dry season, but sometimes it rains during the dry season and sometimes it doesn't rain during the wet season. So rainy season. So sometimes they just blend together. So, but the thing here is that if you don't like it real hot, you can go up to Bouquete or El Valle where the weather is cooler. So there's several places that, you can live here in the country depending on what type of weather that you like. But, some people have said to me, oh, Mary, does the hot weather bother you? Well, listen, I don't, um, work outside. I don't work at all. Well, I don't hang outside in the middle of the day, when it's scorching hot. So if I'm outside when it's warm, like we had a meetup yesterday at the museum, beautiful museum, um, at the Amador Causeway, beautiful museum. I don't hang outside, if I'm going outside, I'm just like to and from, or if we're going to a beach day, we're not like standing out, in the middle of the sun. So, wherever you go, you're gonna have to deal with weather. I guess you have to decide, what's important to you or what you can handle and what you can't handle. Now, I can't handle a lot of heat and a lot of sun. So if I am out, in those particular time periods, I'm gonna have my sun hat on. I'm gonna have an umbrella if I need to. I'm gonna be, well prepared, but I'm out early in the morning. And this time of year, we're getting like a nice little breeze in the evening. And also sometimes early in the morning when I'm out walking, it's a nice little breeze. So the weather kind of shifts a little, towards I think we're in the so-called dry season. The weather little shifts a little. So you can, decide what type of weather is good for you. Do your research. Yes, it's good to get referrals from others, but it's also very good to get your referrals. Okay, so someone says, do you have insurance in Panama, in the US, or international plan? I personally have insurance through my federal retirement job. I still have my Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is acceptable here. Matter of fact, I'm going to see an orthopedic surgeon for my knee next week. I have an appointment, and that's through my Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance. However, like going to get a physical and going to get a breast exam, a mammogram, because it's so inexpensive, I just paid the amount and I got a discount because of my Pensionata visa. There are international plans. A matter of fact, there is a plan here that you can get here in Panama. I'll get the information about that and share that as well, because I have a girlfriend that just got the plan here in Panama. But I have my own. Oh, let me plug up my computer. I have my own insurance. Yeah, I have my own. So I don't have an international plan. Oh, I forgot to charge my computer. Okay, so I hope I answered that. Someone else had a question. Is it pretty affordable to buy into their insurance scheme, or do you have your own private medical insurance? I don't know about any insurance schemes, but yeah, I think I just answered that in the last question. All right. Okay. So let's talk about number 6. This was also a factor for me living in a Spanish-speaking country when I was choosing where I was going to retire, where I wanted to live when I decided to move abroad. I have always wanted to learn another language, and Spanish was always a language that I have wanted to learn. So I am nowhere near where I want to be. However, I do, because I've been here, I can, if someone, I can understand a whole lot more than I can speak. I just know the basic stuff. So 2024 is my year where I'm deciding to get serious about learning this language. A lot of my the residents here that I come in contact with every day, my security guy, the guys here, the maintenance guys, speak very little English. So it's making me learn more words to be able to communicate with them, and when I go out as well. I love a new challenge. I am like a lifetime learner. Which might be some things might be frustrating for other people, because they might be a little intimidated because they don't speak the language, or they might not go a certain place, or go to the electricity office by yourself to get your Pensionata visa discount, or they might not do any of that stuff. But me, no, I'm the opposite. I love a challenge. So I'm going to take the documents that I need. I'm going to go in there with Google Translate, and we're going to figure this thing out. And one thing that I have learned from the Panamanians, are very friendly people. And if you're trying to speak their language, they are very patient, because they're also trying to practice their English too, because not all of them, a lot of them speak English, some of them don't. So they are very patient when you're trying to learn language. So as long as you're patient, and do it with a smile, I don't have a sense of entitlement. I don't go into a place thinking, oh, you should know English. No, I am a guest in your country. So I am preparing that you don't know English. If they do, it's nice. But if they don't, then I adjust myself accordingly. So that was very appealing to me, that being able to have the ability to learn a new language. Okay, let's see. Google Translate. Yes. Yes, I love Google Translate. It's awesome. Very, very amazing. Okay, let's see. Is there quite a bit of paying bills online, or do most people go to the actual provider? Well, Debbie, I don't know what most people do. I can just speak for myself. I come from the working smarter instead of harder type, deal. So I have a Panama bank, Benismo, and I pay all of my bills online. They have a really good app, and under their services app, they have a direct contact with your utility companies. So all you do is have to, put in your account number, and boom, it comes up. So you can pay your bills directly online. The only time I had to go to the Naturgy, which is the electricity office, is because I have my Pensionata visa, which is a retirement visa. I get 25% off my utility bill. But that's something that you can't do online. You have to go in person. You have to show your ID. And you have to sign the document. So that's the reason that I had to go into the electricity office. But I pay everything online. Some people might, go to, I think they have like certain places like CVS. It's not a CVS, it's called like Metro Plus, or certain grocery stores you can pay your services, but I pay mines online. Okay, let me get this question. Okay, gotcha. Thank you for that clarification, Eileen. Uh, did you do the relocation tour? No, Delphine, I did not. Which that's going to be a whole nother video. I'll talk about the pros and cons about why because I have traveled all over the world and did a lot of research on my own. I didn't see the need for that, because I wanted to, matter of fact, I have a whole video on my scouting trip that I will link to the description here. You can see some of the tips that I did when I took my scouting trip here. And I'm also going to be doing an update to that video because I've learned a whole lot more by being here. So no to the relocation tour, but I will put a link to my scouting trip that I took, the things that I learned while I was here when I first came here. And also, like I said, I will be updating that as well. Okay. All right. Okay. So number seventh reason for me choosing Panama as my retirement destination is that, there's a very diverse population here. Of course, country is, Panamanians. There's several different types of all kinds of countries that live here. I have neighbors from India, Argentina, Colombia, of course, Panamanians. So there's a wide variety of different countries, different cultures, different nationalities that live here. And when I was here on my scouting trip, I remember lots, and still today, most people assume that I am Panamanian because, Panamanians come in all shades just like we do. So they will speak to me first in Spanish. And, and I'll have a deer in the heads look, and they quickly realize, or I'll say, oh, no hablo español, no entiendo. Or I'll try to figure out what they're saying. I'll pull out Google Translate. So we normally laugh together. But the point being, which was important for me, is that I wanted to be able to come to a country and while I was learning the language, to also feel comfortable and be at ease. So I blend in with the community, which I appreciate that. For instance, I was visiting Thailand a couple of months ago, and I was, going for my morning walks. And, hey, I'm 5'9". I stick out like a sore thumb in Thailand. I mean, I think I was there for several weeks, and I might have saw maybe 3 of us there. So I'm sure there's a lot of us living there, but I didn't see us. So, you're going to get the looks, you're going to get, the stares. But I don't get that here. No one cares what I'm doing. No one pays attention to me. So, so that was important to me. All right. So you have to decide. These are my particular reasons, okay, that were important to me when I decided to move abroad and live in Panama. So you have to decide what's important to you. Okay. So, all right. Okay, I'm going to go through this and I'll look at the other questions again. Okay. All right. So number 8, safety and security. Okay. So we know that, of course, every place, whoops, what happened to my light here? Something happened here. Oh, did our lights just go out? I'm in the dark now. I'm not sure what happened. Hold on, ladies. Hold on. Okay. Y'all can see me a little bit. I'm not sure why my light just went out. Okay. We're going to keep it moving because I'm not sure what happened, but we're going to keep it moving. Okay. So one of the things that is very important to me is being safe, being safe and secure. Okay. So we know that every place has crime. We know there's no place that doesn't have crime, right? Okay. However, Uh, Panama, there's no mass shootings. There's no pulling over, shooting everybody. That's not happening. That's not happening here. I'm not sure why okay. Y'all might have to just be in the dark for a little bit. Okay, so hopefully that's a little better. And it's like this cloud came over the room here. All right, so okay, so all of the residential areas, have most of the high rise apartments, have security. There's security in the banks. There's security in the grocery stores. There's just security everywhere. Okay, there might be some petty crimes. I'm sure there are. No one's running around. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of violent crimes that's impacting, the entire country as a whole. So you're going to have this sense of peace and sense of ease. I was at a like a holiday. It was an outdoor, looking at the holiday lights, and it was about maybe a mile and a half, from my apartment, and it was about maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock, when I was deciding to go home, and I was like, oh, should I catch an Uber? And I was like, it was a bunch of families that were out and everything. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to walk home because families were walking in my direction. So I just started walking home, and it was a nice breeze out, and the atmosphere was so festive because of the holidays, and it was just so nice. I had no fear, no not at ease. I mean, it was just a nice feeling, very nice feeling. Um, an example, when I was in the States, maybe a couple of months ago, and I was in Florida at a hotel, and I decided to walk to the Ross because it wasn't that far from the hotel. But I spent about 2 hours in the Ross, and then I was coming, back to walk to the hotel. It was dark. Went to the parking lot, came across these guys. I said hello because I wanted them to know that, hey, I see you. I'm aware, of my surroundings. I don't even think they spoke back to me. So I immediately was uneasy. So I'm walking faster. I finally get to the main road, and I'm like speed walking back to the hotel. All of a sudden, I felt very afraid. And I had been here almost 2 years. Next month, almost 2 years. And I haven't had that feeling since I've been here. Now, also, you got to use common sense. I don't put myself in a situation. I'm not like walking out by myself at 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I'm not, I'm being smart, but I just know that I haven't had that feeling since I've been here. Okay. Let me look at some of these questions. Okay, how easy, difficult is it to start a business? That's a very general question. And I think that depends on what kind of business that you are trying to start. Most of the jobs here are reserved for Panamanians. So yeah, that's pretty general. I feel like I look like one. I also feel I've been doing great. Good to hear. Okay. Good morning. Have you covered the rental costs of apartments? We did talk about cost of living, but I'm not gonna, of course, the rental cost is gonna depend on your particular budget. There are apartment rentals in all budgets, from as low as 5, 7. It depends on where you live. It depends on your budget. So that's like impossible for me to list all the apartments that are available and to list all the costs. So where you live and your budget is going to determine the cost of the apartment. But know that you can find a wide variety of apartments here. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go to the next one, and then I'll come back to a question. All right. Okay, so let's talk about number 9, shopping. Shopping was also something that was very important to me when I was choosing, where I was going to live. Okay, so I wanted to make sure when I was on my scouting trip, I literally went to the malls, went to see what kind of stores they have. I went into the grocery stores. I kind of like did stuff as if I was living here. I didn't want to come here as a tourist and go on a bunch of tours. That was not my thing to do when I was on my scouting trip. I literally said, okay, if I wanted to get groceries, where am I going to go? So I did stuff like that to see if they had items, see what the costs were, see if they had, things that I was used to. And so here, this particular picture is of, there's a place called the Albrook Mall. Panama has a wide variety of malls, from like luxury to more economical. They have a whole mall, I think it's called Soho Mall, that has all the designer stores. I haven't really been there. I'm not really a designer person, but I think I might treat myself this year and, I don't know, go in there and buy something. But they do have that stuff here. But the Albrook Mall is one of the largest malls in Central America. It's massive. And they have stores in there that are not very common to us as far as the name of the stores. However, there are stores that were mostly, the locals, the local Panamanians shop, do their shopping, and they have like major bargains. So this particular store, I think it was El Costo we were at, and I had a friend that was looking for some new bras. So we were, in the lingerie section, and I was like, oh my gosh, how cheap are those? So I decided to take a picture and show you that there's all kinds of deals that you can get here. Okay. Also, I wanted to also let you know that you can also, there's all kinds of stores you can buy. There's like a Do It Center, which is kind of like a Home Depot. They have several department stores. There's a store called Conway here, which is actually owned by Target. They have like the same, red and white symbol logo. And if you can't find what you need, and there's something you gotta have, you can always order from Amazon through a third-party shipping company. You have a address here in Miami, and then they ship the items here in Panama. So there's local markets where you can get fruits and veggies. Specialty stores like Foodies is almost like a Trader Joe's. So all kinds of things. They have ethnic stores that you can get stuff from, spices or different things that you're used to. So I like to explore. So I like going, you're not going to find everything at one store. So it's not going to be, you're not going to do that. I mean, you can, they have some supermarkets that cost more than others. So you just have to shop around, but you can find what you need here in Panama. Okay. I am planning to visit Panama in April, May, and I'm not sure what part to stay in. There will be 4 of us, and we want access to grocery store, restaurants, and ability to visit other areas on this exploratory trip. Any recommendations? We will use Uber as transportation. That is sounding like I don't give out personal recommendations for where people should go, okay? Because for one thing, I don't know anything about you, Debbie. I don't know if you guys want to go to the beach. I don't know if you want to go to the mountains, and I don't know if you want to go to the city. So it's really hard for me to give you a personal recommendation without knowing anything about you. So what I would suggest for you to do, if you're not already, a member of our Facebook community, Black Women Expats in Panama, which I'll put a description about that here in the link. And you can get connected with other women that are here and get some more information there. Okay, but it's kind of hard for me to give you a personal recommendation without knowing anything about you. Okay. All right. And here's another one. When visiting for the first time, which cities in Panama should we visit? JS Bay, that all depends on what you want to do here in Panama. So I can't tell you where to visit. If you're a beach person, go to Coronado, go to Gorgona, go to some of the beaches. I mean, a lot of this stuff, I mean, if you were going on a vacation and you weren't going to Panama, say you were going on a vacation, you were going to like Jamaica or something. What would you do if you were going to Jamaica? How would you plan your trip there? Would you go online and look and say, hey, what kind of things can I do in Jamaica? How much do the hotels cost in Jamaica? What part of the Jamaica do I want to visit? How would you find out that information? So think of it that way. I think sometimes when we think about, coming to a scouting trip, the way, we make it more complicated than it has to be. So it's just like planning any other vacation that you've ever planned. You're just going to decide what part of that particular country that you want to go to. You're going to decide what your budget is. You're going to decide, where you want to spend your time. You're going to decide how many days you want to spend in each particular part of this country. So it's just things like that. But for someone to like just tell you, hey, you need to go here. No, it depends on what you want to do, because everybody has different tastes, different budgets, different experiences. So that's something that you need to, a decision that you need to make. Okay. All right. So number 10, let's talk about public transportation. Now, a lot of people, some people have cars, some people don't have cars. I don't have a car here. I've been going back and forth whether or not I'm going to do that or not. And I kept leaning towards not, because, hey, I'm retired. I'm here living this life of ease, and driving here in Panama can be pretty stressful. These people, drive really crazy here. So I was driving in the States because I had to, not because I wanted to. Okay. So, but I love the fact, it's one of the, factors that I chose in living here in Panama, is that there's a lot of transportation. Uber is $2 and $3. Taxis readily available. If you want to ride the bus, which I've done, this picture is of us. I did a whole bus tour thing. And if you want to ride the bus, it's like 25 cents. The metro, I think, is like another quarter or maybe 30 cents. And you can also hire a private driver. Matter of fact, I was in Uber yesterday, met this really nice Uber driver. I was practicing my Spanish and he was practicing his English. And I said to him, hey, do you do private, driving around? And he says, sure. So I got his number. So it's very easy to get that stuff done. So public transportation was very important to me in making this decision. Okay. Thank you so much, Monica. All right. Okay. So here is a question about safety. Would you say feeling safe is something that you feel throughout Panama City, Coronado, Boquete, David? Okay, so I can't speak for all those other places, okay, because I don't live in, I haven't lived in Coronado. I haven't lived in Buquete. I haven't lived in David. However, I do have a video of other ladies, other expats that have lived, that do live in those particular areas, and safety was not a concern for anyone. So I'm sure that all of them feel safe because that would have been something that we would have talked about on the video. So I personally can't say that I don't feel safe, okay, but I don't live there. But when I did visit, okay, I did visit Boquete, and I did spend a short amount of time in Gorgona in Coronado, and I didn't have any problems while I was there. Didn't feel any unsafe at all. I think Panama country as a whole is, fairly safe. I have no people, I have friends that live throughout the country, and no one, I have friends that live in David as well. Cherokee, outside of David, no one has talked about being concerned about their safety. So, all right. Okay, am I frozen? No, I'm frozen. Oh, you're got to be kidding me. Am I frozen? Oh no. What has happened? Okay. Oh no. I don't know what happened here. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Am I back? Okay, great. Goodness gracious. Okay, where were we? Okay. We were here, number 10. Okay. I don't know what happened here. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Okay, let me get to these slides and I'll get to your questions in case I get frozen again. I only have a couple more. Okay, another reason that was very important to me is I was making my decision to move to Panama and live abroad was Panama has all sorts of different climates, all sorts of natural beauty. Um, the top photo is a picture of me and my son. We were in San Blas, which is a whole set of beautiful islands here on the Caribbean side of Panama, crystal clear blue waters. We were standing like in this little area. It was actually like an island in the middle of the ocean. So you could literally walk through the island. And they had a lot of starfish, beautiful. It was just so scenic. So that was also appealing to me, is that you could be in the city, you can go to the beach, you can go to the mountains. When I went to Bukete, the bottom picture is in Bukete. I went on a hike. I also have a video about that. I'll put a link in my description. And I was hiking through a rainforest. And I went on a hike. It was called the Bridges Tour, Hanging Bridges Tour. Now, I thought I had maybe one, maybe two bridges, and I have a fear of heights. Anyway, I end up having to cross six hanging bridges. So it was challenging, it was scary, it was exhilarating. There was a time when we were just walking through the forest, just listening to the nature. I mean, it was just spectacular. So having access to all of this, being able to explore different parts of the country, very, very appealing to me. Okay, let's go to number 12. Number 12 is all sorts of food, all sorts of different cultural experiences. I'm somewhat of a foodie. I mean, I'm not like a foodie where I gotta have like the most expensive restaurants, but I do like being able to have a variety of different places to eat. So you can go from eating at a $5, fonda place where it's like a local place. This food is served like cafeteria style. You go through a line and you pick out, the food that you want to eat. Or you can go to a fine dining restaurant. Panama has restaurants here that are in the top 50 restaurants in Latin America. So there's like a wide variety of places to choose from. Now, I like to cook, so I like to eat in, but I also want to have the availability if I want to. I like to go out and eat as well. So having those options of different food choices were also very important to me. Okay. I see that comment. I'm going to get to that comment. Okay. So something also that was very important to me, thriving expat community. Now, when I was deciding on, where I wanted to move, just like everybody else, we're all in these different Facebook groups. If you are in different Facebook groups for that particular country that you want to move in, I mean, use the search key, see if there's certain topics in there that you want to learn more about. Look at some of the questions, that people are talking about, and, get a little notebook and start keeping some information about that particular country. Don't rely on people to tell you everything. I mean, do some research on your own, because let me tell you what happened to me. So when I was thinking about coming to Panama, did my scouting trip, the talk of the town was beach. You got to live in the beach. Everybody was raving about the beach. So I was not living, but I was in an Airbnb in the city. And then the majority of my time, I was going to go to the beach to see, hey, this must be so great. You got a beachfront condo, blah, blah, blah. However, once I got to the beach, it was just okay for me. There wasn't a variety of restaurants to eat at, which is, I know that's important to me. There wasn't much to do. I like to get out and walk. You definitely need a car there. Ubers are almost non-existent. It was hard to get a taxi. So it wasn't a lot of variety there. So the things that were important to me, it was too many of them that I couldn't get living at the beach. So you have to decide. That's why I'm saying that, yes, it's nice to get information from others, but you got to come see for yourself and decide what works for you. Some people said, hey, I don't want to live in the city. It's too busy in the city. I I've always lived outside of the city. Okay, I'm not really a city person. However, I live in the city because I want to have access to all of these things. Now, I can have a full week. My social calendar can be busy all week, or I can take some things off and I can just chill at home. So you can choose to be as busy as you want to. But I like to have access. So if I want to socialize, if I want to plan activities, if I want to go out, then that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So when I first got here, Black women expats in Panama did not exist. There was not a place for us to get together, share resources. There wasn't a common place. We were all split up in all these different groups. And I just was initially just looking for someone just to go to lunch with, someone to chit chat with, someone to share, my experiences. And so I created Black Women Expats in Panama from scratch. Now we have over 2,700 members. And these are not all women that live in Panama. These are people that are interested in visiting, people that want to learn more about Panama. But we have monthly activities. This particular photo is us last year on a private charter catamaran trip, which we're taking that again next week. So if you're in Panama and want to go with us, make sure you connect with me so you can sing your money in. All right. So having access to different people that have done it before you. So I knew other expats that had already moved to Panama. So that was appealing to me as well. But once I got here, a sisterhood community was not here. So I decided to start one. So if you're moving abroad and you have a need that's not there, see what you can do to get it started. So community is very important. So you got to have people that have like-minded things. All right. Okay, let me get on here. It says, looks like a very active African American community there. My only issue is the bugs. I'm terrified. I'm not sure which particular bugs are you talking about. Are you talking about, yeah, I don't want to guess what you're talking about. I don't have a bug issue here in the city. So I'm not really sure what you're talking about. But let me know. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's talk about number 14. This is the 14th reason why I chose Panama as my retirement destination. Okay, the stable and growing economy. I mean, the economy is booming. Of course, there's the Panama Canal, which has like a global impact. I mean, there's ships from all over the world that use Panama as a path to get from A to B to transportation of their particular goods. So of course, that revenue brings in billions and billions of dollars to the country of Panama. Panama has a large banking finance sector. They also rely heavily on tourism. I mean, a lot of dollars are generated there. There's a lot of foreign investors. There's like high rises that are constantly going up here. And foreign investors, buy these places, buy several apartments at a time. You might be in a building that's half occupied because half of it might be owned by a foreign investor and they're not renting them out. They're just investing in the property here. So it's a very stable economy. So that's something that was also very important to me when I decided where I'm going to live. And that's something that you should probably consider as well when you're deciding on where you're going to move. How is the economy? You don't want to be in a country that's going to go bankrupt, a month or so after you get there. Okay, here's a question. In your area, is it relatively quiet, meaning city noise and not interfere with sleep? I'm looking for a quiet area with city amenities and green space. Any neighborhood come to mind? Okay, once again, I'm not going to personally recommend a neighborhood. It's impossible for me to give you a personal recommendation. However, these particular uh, not issues, but particular concerns that you have, these are things that you need to talk to your realtor with, whoever is showing you the apartment, or when you're coming to look for an apartment, you tell them, hey, I don't want to be on an area that's really busy. Like, for instance, there's an area here in the city, I can probably tell you where not to go, okay? There's an area here in the city called Balboa Avenue, and it's like the main strip here in Panama City. Very busy, very loud. And it's a very popular area for the expats, because they have the water view, but you don't have to be on the busy street to have the water view. Okay. But some people love that area because they want to have direct access to Santa Costera, which is the walking path. So they want to have direct access to that. So, but there's several areas 1 or 2 blocks over that are a whole lot quieter. You can still get those amenities as well. So as far as any neighborhoods, there's so many neighborhoods here in Panama City that are right next to each other. There's parks all over the place. So you're going to get plenty of green space. Okay. So there's Marbella, that's near the city. There's Bella Vista. There's San Francisco. There's Pattaya. There's so many, so many. So you have to, when you're coming here looking for an apartment, if these are your areas, then you want to be near a park. You want to make sure it's in a quiet area. So that's easy to find. Just stay off Balboa Avenue. That's the noisiest, I think, area in the city, and the busiest, because it's the main thoroughfare. Okay? So hopefully that was helpful. Okay, so the last reason why I chose to move to Panama and to live here, while I chose Panama as my retirement destination, was kind of like, why not? Um, you know, because I can, why not? Um, I have always had a desire, okay, like I mentioned earlier, to live abroad. I've traveled and lived part-time abroad. I had an assignment, spent like 4 years living abroad. So once I retired, that's something that I've always had a desire to do. And one thing that COVID taught me, is that, tomorrow is not promised. Okay. So either you can live your life with, woulda, coulda, shouldas, regrets, or you can do the research, figure out what you need to do to make things happen, and you can just do it. Okay. Was I afraid? Did I know anybody before I moved here to Panama? Didn't know a soul. Didn't know anybody who lived here. Yes, I was afraid, but I do a lot of things. I move in fear. I'm not going to let fear cripple me. Okay, fear is an honest emotion. It's something that we all have, but it's how you handle it. Okay, so I am at this stage in my life. I have more years ahead of me, excuse me, more years behind me than ahead of me. Okay. So I'm in my season years of my life, and I'm at the point where I'm going to do exactly what I want to do. I'm not going to spend time with people that I don't want to spend time with. Um, and I'm going to travel each year, maybe more than once a year. I'm going to be traveling to a new place that I haven't been. That is something that I am doing. which I've done in the past, but I'm making it a conscious effort to do it at this point on. So, people say, oh, I'm going to wait till this and that. There is no perfect time. There really isn't, you know. So you have to decide what's best for you. You have to, make your plan. I'm going to be doing a detailed video of how I planned my scouting trip, the things that I, wrote down and things like that. I'll be sharing that in a whole nother video because we've been talking for over an hour now. So that's a whole nother, because I'm a detailed person. I have like certain things and certain steps. So I'll be sharing that, what I did. And I'm going to share all the tips that I've learned since I've been here in Panama. There'll be a whole series on my retirement story. So I will be sharing all of that. And I'm going to scroll down here and look for some more questions. Okay, so here's a question. It says, so you have dual citizenship. Do you need to choose? No, I don't have citizenship here. I have residency, not citizenship. I'm a permanent resident. So that means that I don't need to border hop. I don't need to leave after a certain amount of time. I have permanent residency, so I can come and go as I please, not citizenship, residency. And I'm going to be doing a video on how exactly I got that done. I'm looking forward to taking a scouting trip late 2024. Thanks for all you do to share. Looking forward to meeting up with the group. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It says Facebook group user. I'm not sure who it is, but we look forward to seeing you here in Panama as well. Sorry if I missed it, Valerie, but did you say there's a separate channel for Black women expats? We have a Facebook group, Black Women Expats in Panama. I will put a link to the description. Matter of fact, there should be a link in this video, but we do have a Facebook group. In my channel, we also have interviews of Black women expats that live here in Panama. You can see those on my channel as well, and I'll be doing more interviews of other women here in the future. Okay, so speaking of realtors, is that the best way to find available rentals? I personally think you need to deal with, there's several different ways, which I don't want this to go on too much longer. I don't want to take too much of your time, but there is, well, a realtor, I think you should deal with probably more than one person because a realtor can only show you, what's in their particular inventory. So you might need to deal with more than one realtor and make sure you get a referral because not all realtors are created equal. There's also a site called Inconsentera, which is like, what is that site in the US where they put like classifieds? I can't think of the name of the site right now. And it's in the US where you can see what's available for rent, what's available for sale. I can't think of the name, the US name, but it's similar to that. And you can like put a filter in there. You can put, I'm looking for a 2-bedroom. I don't want to spend over $1,200. You can put these filters in here and it'll show you what's available in that particular area. In our Facebook group, Black Women Expats in Panama, I even did a screenshot to show you how to search for rentals here in Panama. That's available in our group. And I'm also probably going to do a separate video to give you tips on what to look for when you're looking for an apartment, because there's a whole host of tips and things that I've learned since living here that I plan to share as well. Okay. Okay, Valerie, it just hit me when I got my property tax bill. Why am I living here? I'm 52 and I think life should get easier and softer as I get older. Yes, yes, Valerie, I am with you 100%. We all deserve a life of ease, for sure, for sure. Um, Debbie, when I make the move, can I continue to draw from my US checking account? Would I need to change my address for Social Security and pension payments? Oh, no, no, I would not do that at all. I have my US bank. My pension goes directly to my US bank, and I'm never going to get rid of that. I have the same bank because I was in the Air Force when I was 17 years old. So I bank with USAA. Um, so I've been banking with that bank forever. Okay. So all of my stuff still goes there. There are several ways that people use to get money from the US here to Panama. Some people go to ATMs, some people go to Western Union. Um, I write a check to myself, put it in a Panamanian, my Panama account, and then they charge me $10 to cash the check, and then the money gets transferred over. But you gotta work in advance because that can take up to 15 days to clear. So you're always working like a month in advance to pay your bills. But that's what I do. But you definitely want to keep your bank, all of your stuff going to the US. All right. Oh, hi, Edith. Oh, hi, Minnie. How are you, dear? Nice to see you. Yes, this is it. Craigslist. Thank you so much for helping me out. Yes, Panama has something similar to Craigslist. That's it. I couldn't think of that. Your videos are definitely helped me make my decision. I hope to meet the Black expats when I arrive. Thank you. You're very welcome. Yes, we are here. Like I said, I got a whole series coming up that I'm going to be sharing step by step because my thing is I am all about helping people. I don't think if I have information that's going to help you transition, whether it's moving to Panama or moving to wherever you're moving, or making a life decision. It could be anything. If I have information that I can share to make it easier for you, then that's what I'm going to do. So it's not costing me anything to share that. Okay. Thank you for this live chat. It's very informative. It's inspiring to see a Black woman doing things that I'm hesitant to do. It shows me that everything is possible. Oh, thank you so much, Valerie. And listen, I also want to tell you, ladies, listen, I don't have it all figured out. Okay, so this wasn't like some easy thing, for me to do. Yes, I'm gonna be anxious about some things and wondering if it was the right thing for me to do. And I'm gonna be nervous. And yes, I was afraid, but you have to at some point just do it. And listen, don't share your stuff with people that aren't going to be supportive. I was in Panama for 3 weeks before I even told anybody that I moved. Okay, because I didn't want to hear any negative stuff. I didn't want to hear. I mean, because I had people reaching out to me once they found out, what are you doing? What's going on with you? Are you okay? What's going, so it's like you got to keep some stuff to yourself. And that's why it's good to have a group like this because you guys are all in that same place, and you can share your stuff together and you can support each other through the process. So that's what we do here in our group, Black Women Expats in Panama. All right. Headed your way in April, God willing. Once I return from the continent, we'll look into the Black Women Express account. Thank you for the information. You're very welcome, blessed always. Thank you for joining us. So glad there's a Black woman expat as well. Yay, yay for the sisters. Yay. Absolutely. Excited to make the live. I love your content. I am preparing for a mini retirement, and Panama is one place on my list to explore next winter. Awesome. Academic Life of Dr. Crystal. We will be here when you decide to visit. And remember, ladies, I was talking about how I love to travel. I do have a travel club. I wanted to mention that to you as well. And if that's something that you're interested in doing, I'm right now putting together a birthday trip. I'm going to Portugal for my birthday. So if you want to join me, my website is travelingwithmary.com, or you can also scan this QR code. It'll take you to my travel group email sign up list. If you go to the website, travelingwithmary.com, you just click group events up top and then click Mary's group travel list. And you could be on the email list for my hosted group trips that I have coming up. So let me go through a few more questions and then I'm going to wrap it up. But I appreciate everybody who was on the live today. Don't forget, if you are a first-time visitor to my channel, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification button so you can be notified of my upcoming videos. Thank you so much for this information. I always wanted to visit, but now I might change that to a scouting trip. Yes, because you can actually do both. You can visit with an intent to gather information, because if you're gonna spend the money and fly out here, why not do some things while you're out here? I mean, that's a way of being smarter, with your money, instead of just coming out here and doing a bunch of tours. Yes, you can still do tours, but use some of your days to gather some information as well. I agree. Work in silence sometimes. Absolutely, Suzette. Absolutely. Okay. I think that is all. I don't see any more questions. Does anybody have any more questions? I'm so excited. I know a lot of people work during the day, but I'm like a morning person. And so it's good for me to do things in the morning, but I might try to have a live at night in the evenings too, for people that work different schedules. We'll kind of see how that works out. But I also have some videos that I'm just going to be recording and sharing those as well. What is this? Okay, there's another question here. Okay, someone said, this is what I'm doing, slow travel through Central America and Mexico to find my next home. Very nice, Dr. Crystal. Awesome. I missed the airport info distance. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Maybe you can retype that. Because that's a lot of scrolling. It's kind of hard for me to find that. I have a lot of chat here. Yeah, hard for me to find that. Okay. But as far as I'm just gonna try to answer that in general. As far as Panama City from the airport, it depends on, which side of the city you're on. It depends on the traffic. Depends on what time you travel to the airport. So, it could take 15, it could take 30 minutes. It depends. on all of those variables as far as how far you are from the airport. And if you're at the beach, that's like a whole, depending on where you're at in the beach. So, it could be an hour and a half, could be 2 hours. It depends on where you live. Okay. So I hope I answered that. All right. I really appreciate you being here today. And listen, I just want to encourage you to whatever stage you are in whatever stage you are in your life, whatever it is you're trying to do, whatever it is you're thinking about it, don't put it off. Do your research, make your budget, make your plan, and make it happen. Tomorrow's not promised. And get in expat groups, start communicating with people that are already there, connecting with people. We have the good thing about our social groups is we have small groups that split off. So you might come to an event and connect with someone there, and you guys will start hanging out and going to lunch on your own. So it's like just a good way to come to an event by yourself, not knowing anybody here, and have friendly faces. People are there with an open arm to welcome you. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If there's any topics that you want me to cover, make sure you put it in the comments. And I think that is it. Put that in the comments. And if you're interested in traveling, make sure you join my travel club, because I will be hosting some events, travelingwithmary.com, and I'll be talking about those as well. I think we got a comment here. Okay, so in the meantime, happy Friday. Have an amazing weekend. And this is my first live, and I have 34 people here. I so appreciate each and every one of you. Let me know if you like the live format, if that's something good, any thing you want me to do, any critiques or anything I should do better, any topics I should cover, let me know in the comments. But thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing weekend. Let me know if this is a replay or if you're watching live. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Take care, ladies. Bye-bye. You're welcome. Thank you so much.